Hello, I am Mrs. Christensen. I've been asked to talk about transforming group work. So, what I first want you to do is I want you to think about the group work that you have done up to this point, what it looks like, and how it seemed to be going. Okay? So take a pause and think about that, and once you're done with that, restart this slideshow. With that in mind, what I would like you to do now is I want you to consider what you want the group work to feel like, be like, everything of how well it goes and moves. So I want you to pause again and consider that. Okay, now I want you to consider the differences between how it goes and how you want it to go. Okay, and with that in mind, hopefully we can give you some ideas to get it to where you want that group work to be. Now, with group work, we need to know the difference between what can be considered a group activity and group learning in group work, okay? A group activity is something that you just have students do to take up time to just kind of make it more fun, which is good and it's very important, but it doesn't have the aspect of the group learning in the group work, which is making sure that they are getting the work done, sharing the work, and learning together. And that part is called accountability. Having that accountability and making sure that they are getting learning through this group work is the difference between an activity and learning. Some ways to help with that. There's lots of different ideas, but one that can work is giving students roles. So what I mean by that is, what are they in charge of in the group? Okay, if you just tell them to go and work, they're not going to be not sure what to do. You'll always have a person that is not participating, not helping. Okay, so when you do your group work, it is better to decide, okay, what needs to get done in this group? What can I break down and say, this is a job, this is a job, and this is a job, and have the students, when they get in a group, pick which of those that they are doing. Okay. With that, it's really great because as they are working on that, they have what is called individual accountability, having their own work that they are doing to keep them on task. But then it goes into a positive interdependence where they can tie in the work together and make the whole assignment. And as they are doing that, they can work and learn together. It's also a good idea to kind of get some information from the students as they have worked through the group. Because yes, you are going around and monitoring, but you don't always have enough eyes to see everything that's going on. So getting some information from them can be beneficial to see how everything is going on in that group work. This is just one idea of a paper you could use. There are many different ones out there. When you do have group work, you need to consider rules, right? What rules do you have in the group work, okay? Make sure that students are following them. What could possibly go wrong? Let's make sure there is a rule for that. What could you change? So some different ideas is to ask coworkers what they do, but please understand that their classroom is not your classroom. They have different things that work for them that may not work for you. So trying to figure out what can work. And please be aware that it may not always work out, and that is okay. You can always change your rules in the middle of class to make it work better, but it's always a good idea to write those down so that you have them as a quick access to them the next time you may use this group work idea, okay? This is an idea that I have to help with group rules. We have our champs that we have, but this could work for groups, or you could just use the champs as well. I really liked it because it goes with groups and it's about getting along, respecting others' ideas, on task, use a quiet voice, participate, and stay in your group. If you do decide to use this, you need to give them examples of what it means to get along, what it means to respect other ideas, what does it look like to be on task. Quiet voice. For one teacher, it could be a soft whisper. For another teacher, it could be the normal voice level. It is just dependent on what works best in your class and that it is working. But again, you could change it as you go along. You've given rules. Do you have consequences? All right, it's always good to make sure that you have consequences for not following the rules and please make sure you follow through with them. If you do not follow through with them, students will start to not listen to any of the rules because they know that you won't do anything about it. So please make sure that you do have consequences. That helps them to see, oh, the teacher is serious, and that you can, it just makes it so they will follow through more on the rules. Now, there are many different types of group work. You can start with something simple like a think, pair, share, where it's just they think about it, then they share it with their partner, and then you randomly call on a student. And it can get into a more in-depth group work, where you can have something like the multiple perspectives, where students are answering questions in the viewpoint of a different historical figure together, and they're considering the perspectives of meanings and ideas and such. So there are many different levels of group work. I do have that paper that you can look at to take a look at some of them. And if you ever have any questions about them, coworkers that do use it are more than willing and happy to help out with that. What I would like you to do now is to choose a lesson or a unit where group work hasn't gone well and you'd like to change it. So I would like you to use these ideas to try to redesign it, look at the group work protocols that you've had, the structure, the rules, the roles, and all of it to try and make it just a little bit better, okay? And that is all I have for you today. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, bye.